Hello everyone, welcome back to our farm. We're on our Frankenmuth Farming Map, playing Farming Simulator 25, and I can't even remember what episode this is. Probably, yeah, I'm not even gonna say because we had so many episodes thus far, and yeah, we're making good progress. So we're currently in July. In the last episode, we ended off with some of our harvests being done, and I still had to do a little bit of contract work and sort things out on the farm. So one of the things that I did was I just got our sawmill, our big sawmill, just a little bit loaded up with trees that are already cut, but it wasn't in the sawmill yet. So I just got that in there so that we don't have to worry about our sawmill for now. And our small sawmill is still doing fine. Preserved foods is running with our spinach that's in there, and the water levels seem fine for now in our greenhouses. Grain mill, this is the small one, it's almost done, and then we can take the flour out of there and sell it off. Big grain mill is running through our wheat quite quickly, I think. So no, it's not. So it's still going slow, but I mean there hasn't really passed much time, and we're going to be filling that up to 126,000 liters and probably have some left to put in our silo on the farm. And I know I was talking about planting oat, but unfortunately oat is planted in March and April, so I don't really want our fields to be empty until then, so we will most likely just stick with what we're currently doing. We might plant a bit more barley because we can always use that in our grain mill and make flour from that. So instead of planting oats, we'll plant a little bit of barley, and we'll keep the one large canola field. Cement factory, I did a small contract for stone picking, so I got that a little bit up, so it's still going strong. So I didn't buy a front loader attachment and a bucket to get the stone heap that I have next to the cement factory in there yet, so we'll have a look and see if it needs be. We'll get that in there, as we're going to have that for a little while. So all our productions are looking good. There's nothing to sell at this point really. I mean, there's planks and wood beams and planks long, but for now we're not going to be selling that. So I think we are about ready to go over into the next month. Oh, I forgot about our chickens. Our chickens are still doing good. What is happening over here? Where did all our eggs go? That's not good. Hold on. We have to figure this out. I was in here earlier in the day and I saw that everything was fine. The eggs are there. It's just not showing in the menu. So not quite sure what happened. I struggled to get this door closed. This is typical. Okay, so maybe if I stand on the outside of the door. Okay, maybe if I stand on the outside of this door. Okay, so I guess this is staying open for now. Oh, that worked. Okay. So no idea why this is not showing up on our eggs. Oh well. But other than that, the chickens look fine. At least the egg pellets are there. Don't know if there's a little bit something up with the mod, or maybe as soon as we go into the next day we'll be able to see what's going on. So we're gonna head on over to our house and take a nice nap. It's 7 o'clock at night, but we have to be up quite early tomorrow morning with everything that we have to do on the farm. But by early, I mean 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock is fine. So let's hop over into, what's it now, August? So we got an achievement for something about eggs. And anyway, the eggs that disappeared in there. We don't know where they are on the menu, but anyway. Okay, so let's have a quick look at the map. Growth. So I'm a bit lost. Okay, so 12 is ready for harvest. That's our canola field. Our rice fields are ready, and 42 is ready. So we can jump right into it. I've already kind of staged the vehicle so that we can just get going. And just because there's quite a bit to do. So we're just gonna hop right into it. Okay, so we are going to have the worker run our MacDon, and then, oh, here we go again. Okay, so something's up with the canola. The workers don't quite want to harvest this for us. I'm not sure what's up with that. So we'll have to do this bit ourselves. It seems to think that the canola is not ready for harvest, or it's not time for harvest. So we'll just run this and get this picked up. And as soon as I'm done with the MacDon here, I'm just going to take it over and have it stored on our wheat field on 42, so that we can get that off. And then last but not least, I'm leaving the rice for last because we're going to be leasing the harvester to get the rice off that field or fields. And I want to kind of be focused on the rice when we harvest that, so that we can do that as quickly as possible in order to save a little bit on the leasing cost of that harvester. So yeah, that's going to be last in line. And I don't think there is anything else that we need to harvest. Yeah, I think that should be it. And then after that we need to start preparing this field, field number 12, our canola field, for the next planting season, because we have to, I would like to plant this today, and then we have this ready for the next year. So there's quite a bit of things to do today. I'm gonna continue on with our MacDon here, and I'll bring you in as soon as, yeah, basically we continue or something interesting happens, or yeah, we'll see. Okay, so see you in a little bit. Okay, welcome back. We are just about done with our canola field. We got all of this into swaths, so we can just go around with the combine and get all the yield picked up from the field. Let's get this guy over to our wheat field. I'm just gonna sneak over our neighbor's field. Okay, so hopefully this works. No field found. Okay, let's just go into the field. Seems like he's trying to figure it out. Okay, he's off. So we can quickly hop over to our combine. Now I suspect that we are gonna have a little bit too much canola to be able to fit this into our current silo. So I don't know if we're gonna have to upgrade the silo at this point, but I think an extension is gonna cost us about 20,000 if I remember correctly. So we'll have to see what happens there. I'm kind of hoping not to give out any additional money. We'll see at the after we've done all of this. I'm keeping this for the end of the episode. I want to see if the bank possibly reconsidered our maximum loan amount because of the production that we bought, the grain mill. Because if they did, we might be able to oh well, I'm hoping that we might be able to buy our preserved food production, the big one. But that's all gonna depend on how much they give us and if they give us something at all. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see on that. I'm a little bit on my nerves about it. But you know what? Even if we have to wait a bit and just keep on going and make a bit more money and buy it at a later stage, it's still fine, but we'll buy it as soon as possible so that we can actually start using our flour and our eggs and make some noodle soup in the end, and then get the kimchi moved over to the new production as well. So yeah, that's currently where we're at. So I'm just gonna continue on here and get all this off the fields. I doubt that you guys want to sit here and watch me pick up all of this yield of our fields. So, and then by the time I'm done with that, we'll look and see how things are going with the wheat field. Okay, so as I expected, we have reached capacity on our canola. I just quickly want to see how much we have in here. So we can only store 150,000 in total. It used to be per crop. Okay, so I guess we are gonna need some of our money. Let's hop into the construction menu and just see what we can do. Okay, so if we go over to silos, silo extensions, it's 20,000 for 75,000 capacity. I think we should be able to do it. Why would it overlap with an object? So it's either overlaps with object or doesn't, the land doesn't belong to me. So this is interesting. So now I don't know how we're gonna do this. Maybe if I kind of try to turn this some way or another. I thought that we would be able to actually add extensions at the back, but apparently I didn't place this far enough forward. Let's see. We can't place it there, that's going to be ridiculous. Can't place it there because that's going to be in the way. It has to let us place this somewhere. Okay, plan B. What's plan B gonna be? we have wheat in there and a barley. We have barley in there. Our wheat is still fine because that's over at the grain mill. We can't move anything out because we're sitting with a full trailer. Okay, we're gonna find out about this sooner than later. So if we borrow, just see up to where this goes. So we did actually get additional loan for our production that we bought. So we are sitting with 340. So if we head into construction, but then I'm gonna have to switch this around probably, because if I remember correctly, the oil mill is cheaper than the preserved food or the canning factory. So if we buy this, then we can drop the canola at least into our oil mill and start producing of that, and then we're gonna have to save up some money to get the canning factory. Okay, so being out of options, this is what we're gonna do. So let's quickly hop over to the field I want to purchase, or we can just buy that, and then we can hop over, hop into the purchase menu, construction, and then we are getting an oil mill. I think we should have it placed like this. Okay, so land not owned by you, land not owned by you, no, not owned by you. I want to get it as close as possible to what we do own. There we go. So welcome to our new production, the unplanned production. So I just want to say, I think everything's going to spawn back there, and then we will have our drop over here. So I just quickly want to see how much capacity this has, otherwise it's going to be bad news if it can't at least take quite a bit. Okay, so we can get 96,000 liters in here, which should be enough for now. Okay, so I'm gonna hop back to the farm, and I'm gonna bring the canola over here and basically just continue on that farm of our, or that piece of land, just to get the rest of the crop off the field, and we'll see where we're at after that. So surprise, surprise, that happened. At least with the new production that we bought, I think we should get more or less half the money that we can borrow again. So basically in September we should be able to borrow, say, 120k more. So we're gonna need a little bit of cash flow from contracts or from, well, from our own. I don't think we can currently sell anything of our own, so we're gonna have to build up a bit of money and then get the canning factory. So this is gonna be fun, but we're gonna get through this. At least we're getting some productions going, and yeah, that way we can make a bit more money, and when we look back at this, we'll know it was the right decision. So I'm gonna continue and then I'll bring you back in a little bit. And we are almost done with our canola field. So we got all our crop off. And we are doing this last bit and we're gonna get that into the trailer. And then the trailer isn't quite full, so we will head over to our silo and just get some more of the canola that's in there and get it over to our oil mill since we have it now, so that we know that is going at full capacity. Then we don't have to worry about filling it up anytime soon. So yeah, our chickens are gonna have to keep producing eggs, and hopefully it won't take long before we can afford the canning factory, and then we can get that going as well. So I don't want to spend all our money. We're probably gonna get quite close to doing it again, but it would be good if we can get as many of this productions going as possible. We're going to look at the rice. I've done some calculations and, well, according to my calculations, which I'm pretty sure should be accurate, the rice oil doesn't give us that much money. So, or well, as much as it would if we rather made noodle soup. So, but I had to, I'm not quite sure how the eggs are gonna work, because they talk about liters, but if you look at how many eggs are used to make noodle soup, it says 10 times 10. So, I don't know, it can't be only 10 liters. So that doesn't quite make sense to me. I don't know if there's like maybe 100 eggs in a pallet instead of 1,000. And that might influence the calculation a bit. So I'll maybe just have a look and see, I don't know, if I can figure out how many eggs there are, more or less. I guess the game will show you on a pallet how many eggs there are. And then I'll adjust my calculations and just see, because if we can use some of the rice to produce rice oil, we might as well do it, because I suspect that we might have too much to only be producing the flour from it. But I don't know how quickly the grain mill is gonna run through the grain that we put in there, so I doubt that it would last a year. But yeah, honestly, I don't know. So we're just gonna do this and see how far we get and how much we still need, and then we can plan for next year to see how many fields we need at least to get all the grain that we need to run the entire year. So there should be around about just over 50,000 in this after I've unloaded. And then we can have a look, we can maybe bring over one more. Load. So 53, so we can do about 42 more. So that's one load and a little bit that we can bring over. So say 42, and if we hop in somewhere that I don't know now in here, we have 53. So there's going to be a little bit left in our silo, but yeah, we should get most of that into the oil production. So I'm just going to bring one load over, and then our worker is done with our wheat field. So then we'll get started on that one and get that over to our there's quite a bit of pallets over there, to our grain mill. The other thing that I wanted to mention is I know we can technically store our crop in the train silos. So if we have a little bit of overflow and we don't have enough storage on the farm itself, we will store it in there, and then if we at some point have a little bit of spare cash, we will just upgrade the silos on the farm. Maybe we can look for a mod or something that just gives us a little bit more space, and then we'll sell the current silo off and just get a new one in there, because we are getting stuck with that space around the silo with not being able to add the extensions there. And I mean, I can't even buy the field next door and think we're going to extend that a bit, because I don't want to necessarily make the field smaller, and we don't have the cash to buy that field in any way, because it's going to be quite an expensive one. So look at our pretty rice fields. We're almost going to get working on that as well. So I'm going to run back, get the oil mill filled up, and then I will bring you back in when we head over to our wheat field. So we are heading over to our wheat field. This is also going to be an interesting one, but I'm going to see if we have a little bit of overflow of crops. Then I'm just going to, or yield, whichever you want to call it, I'm just going to try to store this in the grain silo, just so that we can at least store it somewhere for now. So I think this is going to be quite a lot of wheat coming off this field. I'm going to be here a while just getting all of this off, and the canola is fully loaded, that production, so they can keep making that oil, and hopefully soon we can start making some money off that. So overall I think it's going quite well. I just want to quickly see how there's quite a couple of contracts coming in, which is good. We're going to need the money, but we'll focus on that a bit later. I just quickly want to hop over to our grain mill. Okay, so it is actually using a bit of our, I have to go back for that little bit, quite a bit of our wheat that we had in there. So I guess we should be making quite a bit of flour, so getting that preserved food production up and running as soon as possible will be important for us, and then we can start making the noodle soup and hopefully sell that off at quite good prices so that we can make some good money. Our sawmill is running good. There's already a lot of planks, long planks and wood beams in there as well. So I think overall the money will start coming in from our own farm now, because it's always difficult just living off the neighbors and doing a lot of contract work. Look, I enjoy doing the contract work because you get to use a lot of the equipment, and that helps you to decide what you kind of want to buy for yourself. And yeah, it's actually quite fun doing all the different stuff. I mean, some of the stuff we don't necessarily do, so the baling and the bale wrapping and all of that, a lot of cultivating. I think there was a big cultivating one now, and yeah, some of them I end up doing myself just to use the equipment. There was one contract that we had now in last month, can't remember if I mentioned, the one for another field of what do you call it, spinach, and I ended up doing the contract myself, mainly because I didn't want to spend too much on wages, so I harvested the field myself and just drove over to the farmer's market to sell off that product. But I think overall we made some really good money off it. I think I got about 21,000 for the contract itself, and then there was bonus yield of about 8,000 that we got. So that was a nice little bit of cash flow that we can use on our farm again. But yeah, I also see a lot of harvesting contracts in there for vegetables again. So yeah, I wish our neighbors will rather stick to the crops that is easier to harvest, so that we can actually take those contracts and make a little bit of money. But currently they seem to be sticking to vegetables and potatoes. So the potatoes is also going to be a little bit difficult to get off the field, because it's also it's not a very wide harvester or header, so that's going to take a minute. But anyway, I'm just going to continue here on our wheat field, and as soon as we start running into problems, I'll bring you back in and we can figure out how we are going to solve our problems. So learning one step at a time. I think skipping Farming Simulator 22 with all the changes and productions and everything, it kind of, I'm not quite used to everything yet, so there's a lot of figuring out that I have to do. But anyway, maybe there's someone out there learning with me. If you are, well, let me know. But yeah, we learn as we go. So see you in a little bit. Okay, so we are making some progress on the wheat field. Our grain mill is fully stocked, and currently we are just taking the additional crop over to our train silo. So we are going to have a bunch of wheat in there. Not quite sure exactly how to get it out again, but it will be fine. We'll figure it out. At least it's showing that we are storing it in here. So if we go in here, we can see, okay, the wheat is currently at 16,000, 26,000. So it seems to be working. But yeah, thinking that maybe buying such a big wheat field wasn't necessary. But I mean, in the end, if we don't use the wheat to produce anything during the year, we can always sell it and make a little bit of money directly from the wheat. But what's nice is, with the grain silo being so close to our grain mill, we can just take the trailer and run it over there to get the grain mill, or keep the grain mill going throughout the year. But I mean, it's money, so we're not going to complain about money. It's just a little bit more than we expected. But yeah, this field was actually looked well after, because we are getting a lot of yield of this. And I mean, we still have what, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 rows basically to go. And I'm not even making it through one row before I have to unload into the trailer. So we are gonna get quite a bit more of this. So the only other thing that I'm a little bit worried about is, I don't know what the capacity limit is on our train silos. Now if I look at the size of it, I'm sure it's supposed to be a lot. But yeah, I guess we never know until we hit capacity. So worst case scenario, we still have this small production on the farm. If I can't get any or everything into our grain silo here at the train station, then we will just take it over there and process it. But I'm hoping that once that small production is empty, we can actually sell that off just to get a little bit of money back so that we can buy the other production that we want to buy. But in the end, all in all, I think it's going quite well, and this should bring in some good money, either in flour or noodle soup or wheat itself. And that's a good thing. So I understand why we paid so much for this piece of land, because we can get quite a bit of crop off here. So I'm gonna continue on, and yeah, it's taking quite a while to get all the yield off, but in the end, the more we get, the more money we can make, so that's not a problem at all. Just want to get everything off and into our silos, and then we take it from there. Still haven't touched the rice, so there's a lot of work to be done there and to get all of that sorted out. So lots to do. Okay, so we are on the last little bit of our wheat harvest. That's just this last little bit that I thought I'd bring you in for, just so that you can see the end. This actually took quite a minute to get this done, but yeah, I'm keeping the amount of wheat that we have after this as a little bit of a surprise, because I haven't looked myself either. I think we're gonna have a bunch of wheat, because I've run to the grain silo a couple of times to drop the wheat in there, so I brought you in a bit early. Still a little bit to go, and then we can take the last bit to the silo, and then we'll have a look and see how much wheat we have after this. This is quite a big field, and having wheat in it actually gives you a lot of yield. And this will basically be the end of the harvest of the normal crops, at least. So we still have the rice to take care of. There we go. Hold on. And I don't know which is going to be. It's probably going to be better to bring the tractor over here instead of trying to bring the harvester over to us. We already have 11,103 liters in here. There's still a little bit in the harvester. And the train silo has been taking everything that I'm dropping off, so I'm not quite sure if they have a limit or not, but seems like we can just keep going. Almost emptied out. Here we go. Another 15,359 liters. Oh, and I actually looked, we basically take the grain out of the silo in the same spot that we unloaded, so I was a little bit worried, but yeah, I saw that you can just refill from there. I was afraid they're gonna hide the loading spot somewhere else and I'd have to go look for it. Well, I guess if you look at the size of the silos, they can probably take a lot of crops for storage. So I guess the little bit of wheat that we are dropping in here will be just fine. I really want to see how much this was. Oh, where am I? Okay, there we go. Get the tractor out of here. This is gonna have to go back to the farm in just a minute because I first want to see what's going on in the storage levels. Okay, so we have 140,000 liters of wheat. And that's besides the 126,000 that we have in our grain mill. So I mean, we got quite a good yield of wheat. And yeah, we'll definitely keep this big field wheat for now. We'll see how quickly we run through the wheat that we have in storage and if it lasts us the whole year. So I'm gonna run back to the farm, just get this tractor and trailer back, and I want to get some seeds and fertilizer to the farm just to be able to start that canola field and get that planted. And so I'm quickly gonna do that, and then I have to drive that super fast rice harvester that we're gonna lease back to the farm. I am going to just like this turn up ahead, and then we'll quickly hop into the purchase menu and look at that harvester so that we can lease that. Okay, so that's under special crops, rice harvester. We want to lease. So it's going to cost us about $5,000, and depending on how many hours we work with it, it's going to cost us a bit more. So per work hour, yeah, so hopefully we can keep that as low as possible. So I'm just going to say yes, and then we'll go fetch that. Oh boy, I have to make quicker decisions in that menu, clearly. So I'm just gonna pull this in here. When I get back to the farm with the rice harvester, I just quickly want to see if the harvester will be able to unload in this trailer. If not, we will have to take off the extension. So, but I'll bring you in for that little bit of exercise. I'm just gonna hop in this and go get some supplies, and I'll see you in a bit. Need I say more? This speed. It's been fun. Thank goodness for cruise control. So this has just been going. Our little harvester. Should definitely think of investing in a flatbed just to get this over to the farm. Anyway, we are here. Okay, I don't want to drive all the way there to test if the... Let me just see if I... Are we gonna guesstimate this? Wait. Because it will actually be excellent news if we don't have to take the extension of the trailer. I just quickly want to see. Let's have a look. Our rice fields. Okay, let's see if we can not fall in the ditch. More than enough space. Don't drive into my rice field. More than enough space. Okay, no, this is good. This is good. That saves us on some traveling time. Let's just bring that back. Gee, this thing is small. Okay, and our worker is off. Great stuff. I wanna hop out. I just wanna see. Okay, yield bonus 87%. That's not bad. I would have thought it would be more, but that is not bad. I'm happy with that. I'm not happy with the little bit that we're skipping, Mr. or Mrs. But we'll catch that later, that's fine. Okay, so we're going to keep ourselves busy with the rice. I'm going to take this directly over to the grain mill and fill that up. And should we have more than we need at the grain mill, then we'll just have that or drop that into the train silo as well, because it's close to the grain mill. So this works for me. I just quickly want to see. It's just looking, see how things are going with our. Goodness me. We got 200 chickens. The egg still doesn't show. I wonder why. These chickens accumulated quite quickly. I know it's baby chickens, but still. Oh, maybe that's why the eggs aren't showing, because we're getting little chickens. I don't know. Would make sense. A little bit weird, but would make sense. Okay, so I think we should get some contracts going, because we are gonna need some money. Field number 10. Okay, so we'll definitely take that one. Oh no. That's a really nice amount to get into the bank, but it will take us approximately 2 days to get that done. Nope. 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 That one we can do. We can do the hoeing one. I don't feel like plowing. And we can do the weeding. Okay, so let's borrow those. We'll get someone working on that. And we'll get someone working on that. I'm going to borrow the items. I'll tell you why. Which field is this? Field number 8. Okay, now that's fine. Sorghum. Okay, we'll borrow that. And then we'll do the weeding. So we'll borrow that. At least we get 3 contracts going. Okay, that guy is going to be a minute still. Let's get some of this going. Okay, so we add to little space. What are we getting a weight? Okay, this one's getting a weight. Let's first get that. Okay, where's this going? This is the cultivating. Cultivating is field 10. So it's not that far away. No, we can't drive over that stop sign, so it's fine. It won't allow us to. Not that these stop signs work, by the way. But we like to pretend. So I'm just gonna get cruise control. Just want to keep an eye on our harvester, because we have to be quick with unloading and working and everything so that we can get that back to the shop. But I guess it goes according to working hours, so I don't even think the little bit of traveling that I did with it is going to have any effect. So it's only going to be when I actually use it on the field harvesting. So yeah, I don't think that's going to be a big issue. As long as we just harvest and get it done, it will be fine. And we won't go over one day, obviously. We'll get that all done in August. I'll clean this up later, off camera, or in between when I'm bored. Okay, so field 10 is coming up. Quickly get this guy going. I spent a little bit of money on the fertilizer and the seeds. I guess I bought a little bit more than we need right now, but I'll rather have a little bit in stock, because I don't want to unnecessarily... Why didn't we get the contract on this field? That would have been nice. Because I assume this would have been sorghum. Oh well. Guess it is what it is. What's this guy doing? Okay, he is our trailer runner. And we're gonna use the Deutz for the weeding. Okay, so you can just get out of the way. I don't want to take you over. I want to get the harvester there first. Okay, so 80% full on our rice. Okay, this is not that wide a header, so I'm wondering if it's really gonna be necessary for the trailer. I think I'm gonna risk it and go without the trailer. This is not gonna turn out well. Oh well, keeping things interesting. So you guys can travel with me, and then we can look at the excellent decisions that I make that did not last long. Anyway, if we can get through here without traffic, then we shall be halfway there. I can always cut through my field if that helps. I don't even know how to turn on the beacon lights. Still have to go check on that. But I doubt that beacon lights will help at all. Okay, we're just gonna cut through the filling station. Oh, I should actually say, when I was over here with our harvester, I was making one of the turns close to the filling station, and I noticed that the fuel level was low, so I quickly filled up that tank for us. So luckily the harvester has some fuel in it, but yeah, it actually uses quite a lot of fuel. If I think we only harvested 4 fields, was the barley field, the wheat field, 2 canolas. Yeah, well, and we almost made it through the wheat field because it was about right over the filling station when I noticed, oh, the grain tank's full. You see, this is why we don't need the trailer for the header, because we can just run next to the road. I kind of want to go fix that first. Okay, so let's just quickly hop over to our rice field. Okay, so he's still going like a Boeing on the outside and missing all our rice. Not a problem. Will be a quick fix. I don't want this video to get too long, so I might be cutting parts out. Because I mean this harvester is probably going to be busy for a little bit. So I'm just going to leave that there, it won't be in the way. Hop back over to our contract harvester. Did I lose it? There it is. Okay, let's quickly get this over so this can get started. That field is so small that I suspect that this class will most likely take all the grain off the field without us needing to really unload it. I mean, sorghum isn't that big of doesn't carry that high yield, if I can put it that way. I don't know. No, my terminology isn't always correct, but you know, you guys know what I mean. It's fine. You're welcome to correct me if you like. I don't mind inputs or suggestions or corrections or any of those. Mailman getting to the next town over. Oh, they just turn around right on the other side. Okay, so our grain elevator museum is not making any progress. Just saying. What are you doing? Oh, I thought that was dropped. Oh, it does actually drop quite low. Anyway. Okay, so that guy is going. Let's get the Deutz. And we will get the weight. What a nice looking tractor. That attached. Where this goes to? Field 6. And that's a bit of a drive. That's also on the top. I think we might take the same route as we did with the other equipment. Okay, so I'm quickly gonna get this over there and I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, so we are making some progress. It's taking a little bit of time to get the rice fields harvested, but I don't know if I should say luckily or unluckily, but my workers are messing with me again. Luckily the rice harvester is going good, but I'm having a little bit of trouble with the contracts at the moment. That weeding contract, I don't know, that guy was somewhere on that field and he ended up doing 44% of the work, and then he indicated that he's finished with his part, so I had to take over and do my part apparently. So and figuring out where he has been and hasn't was impossible, so I ended up doing most of it again. I think I did 20% of his 40% in the end as well. So just quickly want to run over here and then we can just get the last bit of rice in all the corners. What's happening? I missed this little bit. I think I was in too much. Or I turned too quickly. There we go. Just want to get everything off here that I can. So clearly, I forgot how much rice you get off these fields. Does not seem to be a lot. We haven't even filled one trailer of this field, so Well, we still have the other field as well, but I guess we will get more or less a trailer full from that, so we might get about 60,000 liters of rice off these two fields. So if we want to go a bit bigger on the rice, we're gonna have to get a couple of more fields to plant. But yeah, I guess we will work with what we've got for now. Just make sure we use everything that we can. I have to be honest, I had a little bit of a disagreement with our worker doing the rice field. So for some reason he likes to go in skip a row or something, and then he goes down the middle of the field, and he ended up having a full grain tank in the middle of the rice. So I had to turn off crop destruction for a minute just so that I could get in there, because trying to back this little thing out and not causing crop destruction would have been nearly impossible, and I feel that it was his fault for going in there in the first place. So I had to make a plan just to get into the field and get to him to be able to unload him. Okay, so we have about 1.6 hours on this. Oh boy, this is gonna cost us a little bit of money, but it's cheaper than buying our own harvester. Hopefully next season we will be able to afford our own, and then we'll just have it standing around while we are not working with the rice. Fuel level seems to be fine, so we should make it through the other field. Let's see how close I can get to this water pump, or if it's gonna block me or stop me. I can just go right through it apparently. As I think we got everything off there, so we can just head over to this one and get him started. Let's just see that he goes on his way. Yep, that looks good. Okay, so he is not gonna go up and down too much before we have to unload him, because this is quite a long field. Hopefully he just gives us the opportunity to unload while the pipe is on the right side. Okay, then the other contractor I'm having a little bit of an issue with is the cultivating one. At least he did that part, and he did the outer part for the headlands, but then he felt like no, he's tired, so I'm quickly doing the last bit for him on this contract. We finished the harvest of this sorghum, but I saw another sorghum field that's ready for harvest. I think it's field number 33 or 35, and I'm hoping we get another contract on that, so I don't want to collect and give back the leased equipment before I'm not sure that we are not getting that contract, because then we can use the same equipment at least and save a little bit of leasing cost. Other than that, we have a hoeing contract that's currently busy on field number 5. Hopefully that worker doesn't only do half the work. I haven't looked at that percentage for a bit, so yeah, no, it's still going, so hopefully he finishes that. And other than that, there doesn't seem to be much at this stage. It's just those harvesting contracts of either vegetables, or I think the other one was it spinach? I don't actually know if it was spinach or if it was green beans or something. I can probably pop in there. At 44,001 green beans. Now that's going to be a tough one. It's going to take a while with that small harvest header. And to really make money off it, I will have to do the work myself. Otherwise, worker is going to cost us too much to harvest that field. Because that's going to be quite a bit of work. Okay, so I'm going to continue on and keep our rice harvester empty, and I'm unloading into the trailer, and just continue with the work here on the contracts, and then I'll see you in a little bit. Okay, I'm back. Not much has happened. We're still busy with the rice, and I'm still busy cultivating, but I just had a little thought that maybe I want to try and use one of the tractors. This is the one that we used for the transporting of the harvest over, or the grain over to the sell point, and I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to use this to get our canola planted, because I can't really see why not, and it's just standing there at the moment, not being used, and we paid lease on this. So I want to see if we'll be able to do this, because then at least I can get that going, because currently I'm using our Voltra to transport the rice, and it's gonna be too heavy for our special tractor to transport it. So I don't know, let's see if this works. Just gonna over here, I just want to change this over to canola before I forget. Just get some solid fertilizer in. Make sure it's fully loaded. Okay, let's get this over to our field and see if we can start our planting. As this will help us a lot. Whoops. Okay, so we'll know in a moment if this is going to be allowed or not. And we're off. So this is a direct drill, so we don't have to cultivate before planting. Okay. Great stuff. At least we can have that going in the background while we finish off everything else. Just want to see the rice planter is, or harvester is back there. think he might be doing one more headland before he starts on the inside. Is he turning around? No. Okay, no, he's doing one more headland. I hope he goes up and down and he doesn't go trying to do it over the short part of the field, because that's going to be a lot of turning. Anyway. Okay, so while everything is going, I'm just going to continue here. See you again in a little bit. Okay, so we have one full trailer of rice that we're bringing over to our grain mill. We still have quite a bit of field left to harvest. I think we're about 1/3 done with that last rice field of ours. So we can hop into our productions and 28,000 liters. Oh, so we can only take 65. So yeah, maybe if we add one more rice field, we can at least fill up the mill. So we're going to go to rice flour and we're going to say activates. So finally we're getting some rice flour as well. And I can show you, we have accumulated some flour pellets outside. So we have about 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13 pallets standing there. So it's going like a Boeing. It's just going to be important for us to get that preserved food factory up and running as soon as possible. The money is not quite moving yet because I'm still busy with contracts. I'm going to finish off the hoeing one, and I'm going to take another cultivating one because there is one available, and then I'm going to use the same equipment for that. I'm still holding on to our equipment of the sorghum harvest, obviously because we're using that tractor to help us plant our canola field, but also hoping that there might be a harvesting contract on the other field of sorghum that's on the map. So we quickly hop in here. I just want to show you. So sorghum, where is it? Yeah, so it's this field 32 that has sorghum in it. So hopefully we can get that contract, and just to help us pay for the use of the leasing equipment, you know. Might as well use it while we have it, and I don't want to borrow again. Our chickens clucking away. Okay, so let's quickly have a look. Our planter is doing well. We have way too much equipment going at the moment. So rice tank's almost full. We have this little bit. Maybe we can finish this off quick. I don't actually know why I'm on this side. I was cultivating from the other side, but anyway. Must have jumped over that little bit. It's just 2% that's left. We're almost there, and then we can finish off that one contract at least and get this tractor going on the... oh, I thought it was done. We can quickly get started on the next contract. So let's lift that up, hold it up. Okay, so our hoeing one, at least we get 11,000 for that. And then we take this cultivating one on field 2. I would have actually preferred to use that equipment, but Yeah, I don't want to pay another leasing fee, so we'll just work with this equipment. Hopefully the worker will do most of the work this time and not stop in the middle. But anyway, at least if it's cultivating on a field like that, it's easy to know where the worker has been and where he hasn't. Whereas with the hoeing and the weeding, it's a bit more difficult to know where he missed spots or just gave up, you know. We're just quickly heading over there. We'll get that started, and then it's still a little bit of a way. I just quickly want to hop in and see if anything else interesting pops or popped up. There's still those ones, plowing ones. No, so we don't have that contract for the other sorghum field yet. Hopefully we get this sunflowers. This is going to be a nice contract. But I think that's only in winter time that we harvest that, so just can't remember if field number 2 is also one of those. This is gonna take a minute. Oh, this is actually the one that I did I think it was spinach that I harvested off this field. And obviously I did that work myself, so I'm not quite sure if the workers will figure this one out, but anyway, whatever they don't do, I'll just help them finish. Okay, so it looks like this guy is just about to start with the headlands, so he's almost done. Just want to shut that off because it's just idling away. It's not my diesel, but still. And then we just need to get that rice harvester unloaded. So we're getting close to halfway done. And then I just want to finish off the outer sides where he missed some spots. And yeah, then we're making some good progress. This little harvester is ending up costing us quite a bit of money. It's definitely gonna be worth it just to buy our own. Just want to give him some space. Actually just want to hop in and see how many hours we have on this. You see, we already have 2.3 hours, so we might end up paying for 2 more hours. That's gonna be a little bit of a bummer, but anyway, it's still cheaper than buying our own, so since we don't have the money for that at this stage. But next season we'll get our own little harvester and we can rather use that than paying for leasing fees. While everything is going, I don't think I have anything to do at this point. I quickly want to run through our... Okay, so stones, wood chips, grain mill is going. This grain mill is almost done, and then we can sell that off for a little bit of cash. Greenhouses, I think we should get some water in the greenhouses. Canola oil is going strong. You see, we can use the rice for rice oil, but as far as I can see, it will be more beneficial to make noodle soup with the rice flour. Incoming products, outgoing products. That spinach is actually still going. Okay, so these ones, I don't want to fill this up necessarily because depending on how quickly we can get the big production, I want to use all the chili peppers, garlic, and napa cabbage and spring onion that we have to get started on the big preserve food factory. Sawmill, small one, still fine for now, and the big one will survive. Okay, so let's just quickly hop over to the international and we'll just leave this trailer here. One, detach. Okay, don't detach. Oh, I probably have to select the trailer. I'm just keeping the seats on here for now. Just a little bit of an update on what's happening next. So in September we have to start planting our barley and wheat fields. So basically what we're going to do is, or I'll show you my idea now, please don't fall in there with our seeds. Okay, that doesn't take much. I forgot. We just get this lined up. Oh, wrong way. A little bit back. Okay, so as soon as we're done here, I'm quickly going to show, but I think we're going to do basically, we wanted to do oat, but now I don't want those fields to be empty for that long because we can only plant oat, I think, in March or April next year. So I don't know if I want to keep those fields empty for now. I know we want to do 17, we want to do barley again for the chickens, and the big field we're definitely going to do wheat again. But the other two smaller fields, 23 and 18, I'm not quite sure if I want to do barley on them, because overflow barley we can always use in the grain mill and make flour from it. Or if we would like to keep that over. No, I don't think we're going to. I think we're going to plant barley, because whether we wait and plant oat or whether we just buy plant barley now and use that for the grain mill, it's going to be kind of the same. So I think we're going to do that, and then maybe next year around about April, when we have to plant our oats, we can look for a field that we can buy, and then we'll plant oat on that if we can't find a field that's already planted with oats. Hopefully our neighbors kind of let go of the idea of vegetables and stuff like that, because it's not fun to, why doesn't this want to oh, there it goes. It's not fun to try to help them harvest that. So if they have more, the kind of crops that's more easily harvestable, then we can get a bit more contracts on that. So, but we'll see, you know. Okay, so that's done, and all the other productions are still going strong. I want to check in on the chickens. Let's see. Okay, so the eggs are going again. That's good news. That means, I don't know what that means. Does that mean we only have 700 capacity? Can't remember. Anyway, so that's gonna go again. So we're about halfway full. I guess we can take about 10,000 liters in storage before we have to empty that out. So yeah, we're gonna be needing that preserved food factory pretty soon. So I'm gonna continue a bit and then I'll bring you in just a while. So we are currently finishing off our last bit on this field, and then Our rice harvest for the year is done. Exciting times. We did not get that much rice off these fields, I'm just saying. I think there's currently about 13,000 liters in the trailer. And with the 28 that we have, we got to just over 40,000. So not as much as expected, so we're gonna need another rice field if we want to at least fill up the grain mill. Then I made another decision, or I changed my mind rather, about what we're planting, and I decided to plant canola on field number 13. Reason being is we got about 11,000 more than what we needed to fill up the oil mill. So just want to get around this water pump. So in my mind, I think we are going to need another canola field apart from the one that we planted here. That field is done planting and it's been sprayed with herbicide. So next month we can just quickly give it a second layer of solid fertilizer, and then that field's done. And we're gonna head over to field 18 just now and quickly get that sprayed with herbicide as well. So then we have two canola fields again, and field number 23, I think is the number, will be barley, as well as there's 17 is also going to be barley, and then we'll have 42, the big one, as wheat. I think that's going to be the best for now for the season, and then we'll see if we can get some more oats or more fields for oat in the next year. And then yeah, because all those crops we can still harvest with the MacDon, so which increases the yield a bit with that 25% bonus that we get for using the MacDon. So I think it will be best if we use that as much as possible, especially now when we're still trying to make money. Later on we'll definitely get other crops as well and get bigger harvester and all of that. So yeah, exciting times, a lot still gonna happen. What I'm planning to do, since we need a little bit of cash flow to get that production building, I'm going to go around the map and try to figure out where the other collectibles are. And I've drawn a little map for myself, and I'll mark them out, and then in the next episode we can just quickly collect them so that you can also see, I don't know, if there's anyone out there wanting to see where the collectibles are and things like that, then I'll collect them on while recording so that you can also see where they are. But just to save some time so we don't have to drive around the whole map like we did in episode 2, we can just quickly go to the spots where they are and collect them. We currently collected about 27, I think, of them, and there's 45. We can quickly have a look in the statistics. I just want to get all our rice off here. I know it's really not a lot that we're currently harvesting, these small pieces, but every little bit helps. And then we can return this harvester, since it's already cost us quite a bit of money. I just want to say, I think there was one little spot in the middle. I accidentally hit the harvester with the tractor when I was unloading it, and it kind of jumped and skipped a little bit of rice. I think it's that dark spot up there. Oh no, it's over there. But I just quickly want to get that as well, and then we can return this as soon as we've emptied it into the trailer. So yeah, then coming up in September, like I said, we're gonna plant the barley and the wheat, and we're gonna get those fields ready, and also get our second layer of fertilizer on our canola fields. Oh, I have to turn on or lower the harvester. Here we go, all done. Just quickly get this in the trailer, and then I just want to hop over to, okay, first return this. No idea how to return this though. That's gonna be interesting. Do they give us something somewhere? Oh, we're gonna need this at some point. We can't buy it now. You just see, we used to be able to see our garage, right? These vehicles, and then we should be able to see Iseki. This one, I can say return. Yes, vehicle has been returned. Okay, great stuff. I don't know if there's a quicker or easier way to do that, but ta-da, it's gone. Okay, so I'm gonna take this over to the grain mill in just a bit, so that we can get this in there. So we're sitting with almost 14,000, so it's about what, 42, well, almost 42 thousand liters that we got off our rice field. So it's not bad. I expected more, but you know what, that's just fine. And then at some point we're gonna have to invest in a cultivator, because we have to get our rice fields cultivated before we will be able to plant again, since that little rice planter is not a direct drill like with our other crops. I just quickly want to get this guy into the field, get him going. It's going to be real quick to spray this with herbicide. He can actually just do his thing. And I just want to get, my word, so much equipment. Okay, so just want to get this guy off the field. That. Get this back into the shed. Okay, so all the planting is done for this month at least. And I think that is gonna be it for this episode. A lot happened, a lot of work that we had to do. Finally got that rice off the field. We're gonna get that last bit of rice into the grain mill. I'll do that off camera, and yeah, then that production can keep going. Like I said, I'm gonna look for those collectibles so that we can hopefully we can get, like, I'm hoping for at least 10 collectibles if possible, because that will give us about 100k. And we're gonna need about 130 to 150k still before we can buy that production, if the bank adjusts our loan with 100k. So there's still gonna be a little bit of money that we need. I'm just gonna shut that off there, and then of course any contracts that come up that we can do, we will do in August, and hopefully there's a couple of contracts in September as well, just to build up some cash flow for the winter time. So thanks for watching. It was fun and we got a lot done on the farm. And I hope you have a good day, and I'll see you in the next one. Please remember to hit like on the videos, it helps a lot, and subscribe if you want to see more, and you can hit that notification bell if you want to get notifications when I upload videos. Thank you very much. Have a good day. Goodbye.